is going on, chat? Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to day, I think this is 8. I'm not gonna lie. This could be day 8. I don't know. Let me have a look. Okay, day 8, day 9. We're on to day 9. All right, chat. Today we're on to day 9 of our trading our 150k express or XFAs on Top Step. We have taken a pretty bad hit over the past few days. I'm not gonna lie. As you can see, we had a great start to the week last week, and then it sort of just declined from there on out. So had a loss every single day from there on out, which isn't the greatest. But look, we had a weekend to mull it over. We refreshed, and yeah, we're back on. I've reduced the risk to $200 per maximum per trade. As you can see, I've lost 4 days in a row, which is fine. So I'm reducing that. Okay, and yeah, we shall see how we fare out from here. I just want to play a bit more safe moving forward, especially because the maximum I can lose is about 8 times before the account blows up. So let's just play a bit more smart. The aim of the game is longevity. I'm just here to fish. And before I hopped onto the call, or before I really got stuck in today, I was watching the markets and I just jumped into this quick trade here. Not gonna lie, it looked pretty juicy, and from what I can see, it looked like a sort of retracement into a key zone here, into this protected low, and it swept that low. Okay, as you can see here, price did sort of we've had a break of structure here. It went bullish, so we're still in that bullish trend. Well, before it went bullish, we created a sort of a bottom. We created a bottom protected swing, so we've broken upwards, in my opinion, made a high, and now we're just retracing into this low before hopefully continuing the high. Now this is the Asian session. It is a little bit less volatile, but considering this situation at this point in time, this trade does happen to stay within our boundaries. Yeah, that is pretty much it. So we are doing our best to just continue moving on. That's what we're doing. Okay, so anyways, we've got a ton of inducement here. There's a ton of times prices come down to sort of sweep liquidity here. So we've got inducement. Price actually opened up massively to sweep this low. Came up to sweep the initial liquidity that ended the day off, and it's continued down. Now this is, in my perspective, an A+ setup, and usually I don't trade this time. I don't usually trade around the Asia session is not the greatest historically for me, so I am taking a bit of a risque move. But look, generally speaking, I'm content with this trade here. I'm completely okay if it loses. Like I've taken a 15-minute pro trend continuation with multiple confluences dictating a pro trend. As you can see, it's been bullish all along. We've made this low here. We've come and tapped into this low, and ideally it will continue pushing up. Ideally. But look, there's definitely room for it to come down a bit lower before going up, which is fine. That happens. So ultimately, it does look a bit little bit overextended, and as you can see over the past few days, it sort of has started rounding off. So it could potentially come down a little bit, regain some liquidity and some legs before heading up. We don't know, but ultimately, I'm sticking to the game plan. 15-minute continuation, and I'm taking the TP. I'm being real conservative here. I am just aiming for the internal swing high, internal protected high right here for this trade. So this would be like the 1 to 3 minute, I'd say. So yeah, we just want to take it into. We have the internal break here. And we just want to honestly just take it up to around this kind of area. I'm even being more conservative, and I just want to keep it tight. Historically, I've been a bit off lately with my targets. So yeah, that's what we're aiming for today, guys. that is everything. So we just want to make sure that, you know, everything is going all right. I've had a pretty bad sort of week across all the accounts. So as you can see, been a bit rough, but you know, it is what it is. Yeah, look, want to keep it tight, and we shall continue on from here. You know, so tis what tis. Just gonna keep this on the screen as I do work. So that is what we're looking at today, chat. And for everyone's sake, I will put some music on. How's that? Okay. Put some music on for everyone.
We use Shopify for everything.
We have our core system that captures information for customers, runs our website, and have an extension of that with
Good morning everyone, welcome back to another vlog. It is currently 6:33 a.m. and we have a lot on today, and I'm going to take you guys through a day in my life, or a weekend of my life, or a couple days of my life. Bottom line is I'm taking you guys with me, and it's very early right now, and this is what it looks like. Plans for this weekend, I mean, obviously we had the $129,000 month, which is my best month ever. It's kind of crazy, and it's May just started and I finished trading for the month. I've got so much to tell you guys, you know, when I actually go through the charts and all that stuff, because I've never made over $129,000 ever in my life, and you know, this is the first time I've actually ended up doing it, and so much to show you guys, you know, with the fundeds, with the personal accounts. It was basically a 50-50 split, you know, for making that, but I'd say most of it came from my live account, but I'm extremely grateful anyway. And you know what the main thing is? The main thing is that I did really well in April is I followed my plan and I followed the process. I did not worry about the outcome. As soon as you start worrying about the outcome, that's when shit starts to go sideways, because you start thinking of the money, you start thinking of the monetary value. But if you just focus on consistently executing a system that works, that you know works because you've collected data on it, you have a big sample size, so you know it's very diverse and it's a good system, right? It'll work over time. If you just focus on executing the system rather than thinking about the outcome, oh, this trade will help me pass phase 1, this trade will help me pass phase 2, this trade will make me $10,000 if I let it ride out to this big take profit. If you just follow and being consistent with your system, drop the risk. I risk 0.3%. If you drop the risk and just be consistent with it, it takes out all those emotions that you have tied to the outcome, because you're risking little. You don't have too much to actually care about because you just want to follow your system at the end of the day. That's your priority. When you're a good trader, that's your only priority, just following your system. Did I execute my system well today? Did I break my system? And through every single win that I had and through every single loss that I had through April, they all followed my system. I did not break my plan whatsoever. Did not give a fuck about the outcome. Just followed my system every single time. That's the only thing I did, and that's the only thing I should care about, because that's what makes a good trader at the end of the day. Somebody that's able to consistently execute their system when they know they have an edge in the market. But look at this sunrise, boys. Isn't God amazing? Isn't God beautiful? We have so much that we complain about in life that we forget to be thankful about the simple things in life. Maybe a sunrise. I know I was one of those people that was never grateful for a sunrise, but now I appreciate every single one, and I'm making sure that God knows I'm appreciating every single one. So thank you, God, for the beautiful sunrise. We've got a jam-packed weekend ahead. Gonna do some celebrating, obviously, for the record month, and gonna catch up with one of the boys from Melbourne, Matty Boy. He's one of my day ones from Melbourne, so I'm very excited to catch up with him. And I think this morning we're gonna go for a run, we're gonna go do Muay Thai, we're gonna go gym, so we're gonna do everything this morning. And it looks like it's a beautiful day to go for a run as well, so I'm gonna take you guys with me. It is currently 6:37 a.m. I don't know if you guys can see that, but we are going to get a move on with today. Hope you guys enjoyed this vlog, and if you guys want me to drop more vlogs, let me know down below, and I'll take you guys on, you know, a couple of days with me. Let's get it, boys.
Everything I ever did. Do they have a pool there? Do they have a gym there? You used to do skincare, but now you do swimwear. Your ex-roommate got a condo that's downtown, but she got no furniture in her crib. I've been there. Checkmate, even though you hate that I even check, I still get an E for effort. Only time I play the back and forth is a Leo.
It is a beautiful day. Beautiful morning. Wow. I'm the biggest creature of habits. Like, my routine's literally just the same thing over and over, and I enjoy the process more than the outcome, to be honest. I just love being in my routine and following the grind. But I think now we are going to go for a run, and then we're going to go to the gym, and then we're going to go do Muay Thai. So this is what the scenes look like today. It's a beautiful day, a gorgeous day, and another reason to be thankful to the man above. I guess now we're going to go into our run and get into this routine. And for those that don't know, like, I live all the way up there. Massive ass building. I've been on this beach for about 20 minutes, just doing some reflection, I guess. You know, looking back at my performance this year. Have I been working towards my goals? Have I achieved some of my goals? And I definitely have. I definitely have, and it's good. You know, I've finally cracked that 100k barrier for trading as well. And also having some reflections. And I was thinking to myself, like, what do people think when they hear my name or they see a video pop up? It's not my job to care or worry about what other people think, because the only opinions that matter are myself, my own self-belief, and my family and my close circle. But I do hope that when people see me or they watch my videos, I do hope that they see a person that started from the western suburbs of Melbourne, Hoppers Crossing, Werribee, somebody that can start from there, from nothing, all the way out that way, and then turn their life around into something that they can be proud of. I guess that's what I want other people to think about me. I just want them to see that you can start with nothing. You can start from the worst area of a city, and you can turn your life around. Because I do see, like, a lot of people, a lot of influencers, they'll come from very nice areas that, you know, their dad will own like a company, their dad will own a business, they'll own a private school, you know who. My dad was a factory worker. He worked in a factory for about 40 or 50 years. It was a very long time. He did that to provide for me. And I'm always grateful, because he worked his ass off for me. And I remember when I was a kid and I had to stay in the after school program because he couldn't pick me up because he had work. He couldn't pick me up early because he didn't want to sacrifice money. I remember, you know, he'd tell me about his day on a hot day when I was fucking boiling at school. I feel bad for him because in the factory it would be like 10 or 20 degrees hotter, and I'd feel bad for him. And, you know, sometimes he'd have fights at work, you know, because my dad's a good person, and sometimes people just take advantage of that. That's the reason why it gives me the drive to be where I'm at today, to make him proud, to make my dad proud. Because But if I wasn't growing up with the circumstances that I had, if I didn't have this chip on my shoulder, I probably wouldn't be here today. I'd probably be lazy, to tell you the truth. So, you know, I owe everything to my dad and God. A little bit of a yapping sesh, I'm sorry. I appreciate my family and my dad so much. He sacrificed a lot for me. It just hits different when your dad struggles. When your dad struggled and worked a lot. Like, it's not easy working in one of those factories, physical labor and all that shit for 50 years. Yeah, but he's old now. He's retired, so I love my dad a lot. And that's it. Warriors have done it. Trash ass rockets. You motherfuckers were saying rockets in 7. Get these trash ass rockets out of our face. See what happens when Steve Kerr actually knows how to fucking coach the team properly. That's right. Team actually showed up to help Curry today, so on to the next. Minnesota versus the Warriors. Look at that. So I've got some time in the afternoon. I'm just chilling. It's a nice calm evening, and I'm going to withdraw some money from my FTML account. So this is from one of my 200k accounts, and you can see that my reward is 19,266, which is about $31,000 Australian. So I'm going to take you guys through the withdrawal process with me. So we can choose refund. Obviously we're going to go for getting the refund, and you can choose your withdrawal. So the maximum is 19,266 and 96 cents, and this is part of my 129k a month, which is pretty crazy to say. I've got a Funded X withdrawal coming in as well, and obviously I've withdrawn throughout the whole month on my personal live account with a regulated broker. So now it's just, you know, pretty much the funded accounts that I've been waiting for that I can withdraw from now. Rollover, we're not going to do any rollover obviously, and we're going to scroll all the way down. Bank transfer, so I'm going to put my bank details in, and this is where I cut the video because, you know, obviously you guys aren't going to see my bank details, and that is pretty much it. And obviously you get a nice little certificate here, and I'm going to put that one in a nice plaque because this was my idea. These plaques were all my idea. Literally made these, like came up with the idea for these for the community. And obviously people like to steal because they don't know how to trade, but that's fine, you know. I guess we need to support our local Centrelink junkies anyway. But now it's a nice day, nice beautiful evening. Look at that. And we have to go celebrate because we just did 129,000 this month. So we're obviously going to have to celebrate, but it is looking beautiful outside right now. Wow. Look at that. So I think it's time to celebrate. One of my homies, Matt, is going to be here, so it's going to be good to celebrate with one of the boys from Melbourne, one of the day ones. So that's going to be very nice. So I smell a lot of food, and I'm currently cutting right now, but we got to have a celebratory. We have to have a celebratory. We need to have a celebratory. We need to have a celebratory dinner, so we're going to go and do that. Shit. Just not stepping out, I feel like I'm that nigga shit. I drop 30 on this room, we ain't gon' sleep for shit. If I catch you nodding off, then it's gon' be some shit. You can do what you wanna, live how you wanna spend. And here she is, boys. Friday night. About to go out to a nice dinner to celebrate. This is how you want to do it. The Batmobile is ready. Oh yeah, she's ready. Look at her. Wow. Nice and clean. Oh yeah. She's ready to go. It's time to go on the trot, so let's see what she sounds like. I have not chosen an exhaust yet, so feel free to badger me in the comments and kick my ass into gear to actually get an exhaust done so it can actually sound, you know, somewhat decent. But here we go. Ooh, not bad. Not bad.
Man, chat, that looks hella good. Ain't gonna lie, that looks so cool.
Ready to
For real, for real. Holy shit. Shout out to Trading Pool, OG. Doing it up for the Aussies. Man, so clean.
So I just pulled up to the Kaz, and this is where we're actually having dinner.
To the Kaz.
It's a place called Kiyomi, a Japanese place. I've been there before. It's absolutely amazing, and it's Matt's first time, so I'm gonna get a lot of joy seeing him eat good. So yeah, we're gonna go see him right now. I haven't seen him in probably about 4 or 5 months since he was last.
Jeez, look at that.
But got a nice spot for the whip. Kind of looks tough. Like just sitting right there. I swear I actually got feelings for my car, I'm not gonna lie. But we're gonna go see Matt now, and we're gonna have a nice feed and maybe a couple slaps at the casino, because why not? You know, I gotta humble myself some way. You know what, as I'm walking over right now, you gotta have the right people around you. Like, my circle's so small, and Matt's actually one of the, you know, one of my day ones. You know, he's one of the people that I keep close to myself. And if you don't have good people around you, it's going to be a lot harder to grow in life, because those people are going to be holding you back to an extent. And if you have the right people that are around you that uplift you, push you to heights that you've never been at before, and they challenge you, and they call you out on shit, those are the right type of mates that you got to have around you. Ooh, another M4 or M3. Looks like an M3. Looks fresh. Matty boy, say hi to the vlog.
We're back in the GC, brother. Where are we going?
We're going to Kiyomi. We're having some Japanese tonight. You ready, Matty? Ready for a feed?
I'm keen. I'm keen.
So right here we have the Bay Lobster. This is one of my favorites, and we're about to destroy this right now.
That's really nice. Yeah, I told you. That just smells so good. I told you. It's insane.
Real quickly, chat. In this position here, I can look at scaling in another couple contracts. As I'm trailing my stop loss, you know, I'm trying to keep it a bit tight. I can get in a few more micro contracts, as long as it stays within a safe sort of space for my stop loss. So this is probably, yeah, this might be one of the last scale-ins potentially, because at this point, if I scale any more, the stop loss will have to move up quite heavily, and at this point in time, I think that's just a little bit too risky if I pull up my stop loss anywhere closer than that, because at this point we've had a 3 candle formation, you know, massive wick here, and then you can see a retracement here. So yeah, if I look at the high time frame like this 1 hour, if I have a draw from the leg of the Fibonacci, it looks like it might come into the 6.18, which is where my internal protected high is. So I might even draw out the might even draw out the take profit around there, but I'll keep an eye on everything. You know, if it honestly, if it gets to 1,000 like this, I'm happy. I'm taking it off the table because I've had too many losses in over the past few days. So I'm gonna try to be greedy. I'm not gonna try and predict everything. I just want to take something off the table, and that's a great trade for me, to be honest. So yeah, that's how I'm gonna play this one today. Like realistically, that's right below it's this internal protected high, which is great. I think this is probably the best kind of trade I might get out for this session at least, because this still has a lot more, you know, maybe another 30-40 minutes to develop really. So yeah, you know, if I have a look at it, yeah, it just honestly looks a bit, yeah. I'm going to continue taking this trade and up to here. This is a great trade for me. Yeah, I'll leave it as is, but yeah, that's probably gonna be the last scale in. It's a shame that you know, I'm only working with this sort of space, but you know, it's what happens when I don't trade correctly or trade poorly in the first week. If you watch all my other videos, on all of these days, every single day, I'm floating at least $600 profit. I believe this day on the 15th, I might have been floating 1.4 to 1.6k profit unrealized, and then I didn't even take it because I was aiming for something bigger. I was aiming for about 2,500. So I'm trying to learn from my last week here, and the lesson for this week, the focus for this week is to make sure I close my trades earlier, take profit, and yeah, that's what we're doing today. So stay tuned. This is what we are on. Okay. I like the look of this trade. I'm gonna keep it as is. Yeah, that's what it is today, chat. Continue watching and listening.
Yeah, this is insane. Trust me, this is like one of my favorite ones. You're gonna love this. Yeah, you're gonna love it, bro. Very good, yeah? Looks insane, bro. Wow. Insane. Coming from a sushi hater, it looks insane.
This looks fun.
That's how many bucks. No, I just went, I rolled off it.
Oh, come on, we're ready to go. That smells good.
That's good. Just melted in my mouth. Doesn't even taste like fish. Good stuff? Yeah,
That's good, bro.
that was solid. So now we got the main course. To myself, I'm about to jump into that hot tub over there, but let's have a look at this. Absolutely stunning. Wow. Beach, city. The vibes are definitely there. So I'm about to jump in. Just look at that. Literally the most perfect pool and hot tub with views. Doesn't get any better than this. It's currently 6:26 and I'm going to meet up with Chris and we're going to have a workout, early morning workout, and yeah, it's another day in the office. My routine gets very repetitive, so I apologize for that, but a good routine is really what makes a man what he is, and I truly believe that. Even before when I wasn't profitable, my routine just stayed the same, and it helped build really good habits and habits that I still use today. So let's get it, boys. So we've pulled up to Pack Fair. This is where we're going to have our sesh, and we're going to be training Chris, and it's going to be a good sesh. I know it's going to be a big one, so mentally just got to prepare for that one. And got the GT3 over here as well. So just to add everything up for my live account from obviously a record breaking month, this is all the withdrawals throughout the month, and you can see it starts with 5.9, 28.2, 5.2, 4,000, 3.4, 4,000, 3, 3.2. So all up, that's about maybe close to 60,000 right there, and that's just with a live account. And this is the account that I like to trade throughout the month and obviously withdraw. My main live account is obviously the one I've been trading the whole year, and I'm just compounding that, haven't withdrawn or anything from it, so the performance on that account stays intact. And then obviously I'll have a couple other live accounts which I have for fun, and you know, I'll trade when I do have that itch, because I don't want to sacrifice the profits on a funded account or my main live account if I do lose. So obviously this is what I've got throughout the month of April, and you know, this contributed to $60,000 out of the $129,000 from that month. And this was at the start of the month where I had my 1 mil account, and this was my second payout from that 1 mil account, and that's about $15,000 Australian, so that takes us to $75,000. And this is the other payout from that month, which was also, you know, me trading that account. That was my third payout on my 1 mil funded, and that takes us to about 100,000-ish right now. And then this was the last payout of the month, and this one comes out to about $30,000 Australian. So all up in total is about, it's actually about 130,000, not 129,000. But this was a payout that came through with FTMO. And the main thing I want to speak to you guys about is obviously this. So this was probably one of my best performances I've had, better than my 1 mil funded, because I actually had some psychology, you know, heebie-jeebies at the start with that one, so was a little bit shaky at the start. But in terms of my FTMO here, my maximum drawdown was 1.7%, and then obviously made $24,000 on this account. And straight up, like, my stats on this account were absolutely beautiful, because I followed my plan every single time on this account. And I actually want to go full screen and, you know, explain a little bit more on this account, so give me a second. Particular account, I made about $24,000 USD. This was approximately $37,000 Australian, so it was quite a lot. Obviously this is what the equity curve looks like. Only really traded this account for 2 weeks. And the maximum drawdown on this account was 1.71%. So for those that don't know what maximum drawdown is on the system, I highly recommend you get around it, because it really helps you understand your system on a deeper level. I know that if I go below, you know, 2 or 3% maximum drawdown, I am underperforming, and you know, it's probably time to reevaluate my data, the trades taken, try and make some refinements and adjust. But I wouldn't play around with the risk, because you know, going into drawdown and playing around with the risk, it just messes up your whole system. Your system is comprised of your wins and your losses, and messing around with the risk when you go on a losing streak, you know, can pretty much just fuck up your system, because once your system corrects itself, you have that winning streak, you've reduced the risk, and you're still in drawdown because you've just reduced the risk. So it's a good way to stay stagnant, I guess. But in terms of actually, you know, being able to grow as a trader, you need to ride out those wins, ride out those losses, and you got to let your system do its thing, basically. So only 11 trades were taken, 81% win rate. It was a 3 risk to reward, but my stop loss, put the wrong stop loss in, and you know, sometimes we do make mistakes here, but ended up putting the wrong stop loss in, so that's a bit bigger than what it should, because I was risking 0.3%. So this should be a 3 risk to reward at 81% over here, and obviously I traded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pretty much out of the 2 weeks I had this account for.
Chat. I'm just going to see, yeah, in this candle here, I'm hoping it to develop a bottom wick before continuing up. Yep, it should come down a bit more, realistically speaking. We're still another, 10 minutes, 11 minutes on this sort of candle here. I want it to develop a little bit more of a bottom wick. I might scale in one more here. Try my stop loss again. Bang. Maybe even a tad more there. Try my stop loss again. As long as I'm below the previous candle, I believe it's okay. Below the wick of the previous candle, to me, around the wick, it should be okay. Look, realistically speaking, the price can come down to maybe here before continuing up. That's all realistic, but for the time being, I'll just stay as is. As you can see here on the 1 minute time frame, price might even come down here, realistically speaking. Okay, so I'll leave it as is. Massive wick here, which is due to, in my opinion, fill up a bit more to continue up, my personal opinion, but we shall see.
Traded 7 days and got the account up to about 12%. So maximum drawdown of 1.71% with my new system, well not my new system, just the system that I've refined over time and made the adjustments with data, but 1.71% drawdown, maximum drawdown on my system, and then 12% gain. So these are the stats so far, and realistically all it is here is just me following my system. It's nothing too crazy. I follow my system regardless of the wins, regardless of the losses. As long as I'm following my system, that's the main thing, that's my priority. If I'm not doing the right thing and I'm breaking my system, then those losses are going to be avoidable and unfortunate. But at the end of the day, I take accountability for that. This is my account. You got to take accountability for your actions. If you break the rule, or if you break the plan, or anything like that, take your news. Everybody's conscious enough to make their own decisions, especially when you're in a space like this. If you want to go far, you really do have to stick to that plan, stick to your system, don't break the rules, and take these high quality setups. And also, I'm not taking 10, 20 trades a day. Just
That's right,
trade.
chat. That's right.
Crazy.
Not 10 and 20 trades a day.
A lot of people think less is not good. We need to trade more to have better trades. Like, that's just not true. The best thing I found is less is more, especially in a space like this. Like, literally 11 trades, 12%, 81% win rate. Just calm, not over trading, waiting for myself to present itself. And the good thing is about my system, I've refined it to a point where it's very strict. So I'm not gonna have a setup every single day. I'm not gonna have a setup every single hour. It's very strict in particular, and that's what I really love about my system. But in terms of words of advice and what I can give you guys, that's pretty much it. You guys gotta follow through the system, through the wins, through the losses, and you guys just gotta keep doing your thing.
I knew I was underwater. I just didn't realize I was this underwater. If you're
Hey traders, so this is more of a follow-up video on my recent video on it's about making money, the insignificance of psychology, developing strong technical knowledge, and it sparked an amazing conversation in the comment section below. So again, I don't want any of you to look at this person again because I don't edit my videos. I can't really censor it. It's just a conversation, and I truly respect it. Just a different perspective. So Tokun say that I don't agree with you. Psychology is 80%, strategy is 20%. This is a very, very common beginner trap. I'll go into the detail. If you are clicking buy and sell with no strategy but with good psychology and risk management, you can still be profitable. Something's wrong with this statement. Again, I'm not here to debate who's right, who's wrong, but this is a very common trap for beginner trader. Then my response was, then any person with strong psychology with zero technical knowledge can become a good trader, but on the complete opposite side. A trader who has strong technical knowledge can be profitable with the worst risk management or psychology. There's a big difference between profitable versus consistently profitable. I have seen so many traders with the worst ever risk management making so much money in 1 month, in 3 months. But the key problem is always, can they maintain this kind of performance or not? Is they sustainable in the long run? That's a whole different topic. Then I say, strong psychology with no skill, we're just a gambler with a better mindset. And this is a very, very logical thing. So when, let's put it this way, majority of new traders, especially if you watch all the YouTube contents, you realize most of the so-called gurus out there will tell you psychology is 80%, strategy is 10%, risk management is 10%. Let me tell you why it's completely wrong. First thing first, it sparked an amazing conversation here. He did say that if a trader has an extremely good mentality and only 20% of technical knowledge, he will outperform them over a higher time span. Why? Because he's able to wait for days. Now go back to this question. Why do you think that a trader, let's say for me, I'm able to sit on hands and wait for 2 weeks just for one setup to appear? Do you think I have a strong psychology? Every time when I say be patient, wait, traders will immediately link it to trading psychology. No, that's exactly because I know what exactly I'm looking for. Let me ask you, if you don't have a strong strategy, if you don't have a system that has been proven by tons of backtesting data, forward testing data, and it's been proven to generate a positive EV in the long run, why do you think you can wait for a setup to appear for 2 weeks? It's because I know what I'm looking for. On another hand, we call it being selective. Selective means you know exactly what you're looking for. Why? Because you probably have a checklist. Because you probably have a system that guides you through. If you don't even have technical knowledge, you are just waiting for nothing. Because every single position that you take, every single seemingly opportunity that you're seeing, they are all illusion. Because you don't even know how to grade a setup. If I were to show you 5 opportunities at the same time, are you going to take 5 of them? And back to this one. Why? Because he's able to wait for days. No, you are what a trader, an elite trader, is able to wait for days to execute a position because he knows exactly what he is looking for. He understands his strategy so well. He understands the market context, the market conditions so well that the system tells him this is not the most favorable market condition to take a trade, right? Just by understanding this simple logic, you open up your eyes immediately on why I always say psychology is the last one. I'm not trying to say psychology is not important, but it is insignificant if we compare to the overall proportion of what contributes to a profitable trader. We have a strategy, we have your trade management technique, We have your journaling and reviewing routine. We have your risk management, and then we have so-called the entry-exit model. Then we have, not sure if I've said this already, risk management. Everything adds up. That's what makes you a good trader. And all of the majority of them, what do you think it is? Technical knowledge. And also another simple logic, can you go into someone and say, hey, I have strong psychology, you think someone would ever be stupid enough to invest in you? No. You need to have something that has been proven to be working and it has been tested over an extensive period of time. That's why people can trust you with their money. Because if you don't have a strong technical knowledge, if you don't have the actual skill set, you cannot even trust yourself with handling a big amount of money. And this will shock you. I've been teaching for 2.5 years. I've been a full-time trader for 5 years. I've been trading for nearly 7 years. And every single trader, again, I've coached over 500 plus traders since the very first day when I started the 1% Trade Club. Every single trader will always come to me and say,
Alright, the 1 hour counter just closed, so we do see a bit of volatility coming in. It'll be interesting to see if it continues playing up bullish. You know, I am quite close to, yeah, as you can see, it's quite close to my stop loss area, so getting a little bit concerned here. As you can see, the 1 hour does look like it's formed a doji, so there's a lot of indecision and everything in this area. As you can see, I have kind of strayed off or scaled in so many times that I'm quite far off my original stop loss. A little bit concerning, but it is where I'm going to keep it at. At the 3 minutes, it looks kind of okay here. I am a little bit concerned that it is going to come a little bit too close to my stop loss. It could just wick me out, honestly. Yeah, we shall see how it fares out. This is pretty tight. I might have made a mistake here. Really speaking, my stop loss yet again, my take profit again might be a bit too far. Might be a bit unreasonable. We just want to hit base hits. Just want to hit base hits. So yeah, we shall see. Okay, chat.
I believe I can do it. This is psychology. You are confident that you can overcome this massive sort of achievement that you're looking to pursue. This big goal of becoming a full-time trader. Otherwise, why would you even be in the financial market in the first place? Because you believe that you can do it, right? You believe you're somehow unique. All of us, we have already know the statistics where 95% of traders actually lose money over the long run. But why are we here? Why are you watching this video? Because you believe you can do it. And a belief system has to be complemented with a strong skill set. Trading is just a skill, a high-income skill. So if you only have a strong belief system, but you don't have the skill set, you are just a gambler. You're just having hopeful thinking. So go back to it. 20% knowledge aligned with the market and strikes in the right moment with size. Okay, all these are technical without showing any emotion towards the market. You have emotion towards the market because you don't have a system to guide you through. Every single time when any trader comes to me and says, hey, I know how to trade, but my psychology is messed up, I overtrade, I revenge trade. Why do you think you have the habit of overtrading or revenge trading or bottom trading? Because you have a lack of understanding of market context. You have a lack of understanding of re-entry rule. You have a lack of understanding of your exit or entry model. If you know all this, if you voluntarily go revenge trade, you won't. Even if you do, it is very occasional. Maybe once a month you make some silly mistakes. And we're human, I can accept it. But the main problem is, if you don't have a strong technical knowledge, every day you're just looking at the chart, looking at the mirror and say, I can do it. I'm the best trader. Come on. Even me, I will still tell you, please stop dreaming. So back to it. Trader might have more technical knowledge, but in the same time, in the same way, overloaded knowledge. Overloaded knowledge, that's because you don't have a filtering process. At the very beginning of your trading journey, you are like a sponge. You're trying to absorb as much information as possible because you don't even know what works for you. You're trying to craft a unique system that is specifically crafted just for you. So at the very beginning, even if it's outside of trading, beginning is always the phase where we are like a sponge, knowledge absorption phase, so-called. And later on, only when you have the knowledge, you know how to filter out the unnecessary information. Right? If you don't have the knowledge, how do you know? And it goes back to what? Technical knowledge. So if any of you think that psychology will cure you, then every trader just go visit a psychiatrist and all of you can become a multi-millionaire, right? Why do you still need to learn how to trade? Why do you still do your back test? Why do you still your journal, your review, your refinement, and all these things? Because if psychology takes up 80% of your trading success, why do you still waste time on knowledge? You should be spending 100% of the time on psychology, right? Doesn't make sense. So please understand this. But I do respect it because he said, I love all your other videos. Then I responded and say, appreciate it. I said, being patient has nothing to do with psychology. Again, emotion is biological. Don't ever think emotion is psychology. If you're sitting here thinking, oh, I'm emotional because I have a poor psychology, everyone has emotion. But why do you think some traders are able to outperform in the long run and stay consistent with the execution? It's because they have a routine. It's because they have a system that organizes their behavior. So they can optimize their ability for self-control. Remember, it is you sending information to your brain and your brain reacts to it. If you don't know what you're doing, you're just looking in chart, obviously you get emotional because you don't even know what you're looking for. You're looking tens of hundreds of opportunity every day on 50 over path. How do you know how to trade? That's why I say being selective has to do with you having a strong technical skill. All would agree after my long explanation. Psychology is the last thing come after you have a profitable system. Everything in life we do is all about skill set, knowledge, experience. If you're saying psychology is the big part of what makes you a trader, then imagine a very silly scenario, and it's not real, it's fictional. Imagine a doctor come to you and say, trust me, I can cure your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your parents, your grandparents, or what. I'll do the operation. And then ask him, what's your background like? I just finished my internship. My goodness. You'll be stepping 10 miles back and say, come on, let me go.
Alright, volatility is completely picked up. This is a bit concerning. It's dropping pretty quickly and closely. It kind of spiked up before coming back down. Now it's, wow, it's just shooting up and down. I'm really confused what's going on. Was there some news? This is very strange. 2:30, that's tomorrow. So this could have swept the lows here before continuing up. That would be ideal for me. But geez, it is kind of all up and down, isn't it?
Right? This is the exact same scenario as traders who claim that psychology is everything. If you think belief system is everything, then everyone should have been a profit trader. Why do we have so many struggling traders? Do you think psychology? Everyone's absorbing the same information on the internet. internet always tell you psychology is the most important thing. BS. So why do most traders have a profitable system which they understand but are still not profitable? Because their knowledge is not in depth, and also because they don't have a profitable system. A profitable system means you are profitable. If you're not profitable, what do you mean by they have a profitable system? You just don't have a profitable system. So I believe 99% of the system, including the worst one, can be profitable if a trader has the right psychology game. What does that mean? If a strategy, if a system is not profitable, it's not profitable. I don't care if you have the best psychology. If this strategy is not working, it's not working. Psychology won't make the system work. Psychology complements and allow you to execute the system with more discipline, perhaps. But that also comes when you know exactly what you're looking for. See, will it takes a better psychology to be able to wait for days, not technical. No. You wait for days because you know exactly, okay, what you're looking for. I'm not sure how many times I've repeated this sentence, but being selective has to do with you knowing how your system works. Then your mind tells you let's wait because this is not the right time. So because they just don't have a power system, this is to respond to this one. Go watch majority of the elite traders interview. All of them will tell you psychology is the least important factor to trading profitability. Then I say that those that rely on pure psychology to achieve consistency are having hopeful thinking. The real traders have a game plan and actual system to stick with like a Bible. The same thing, if you go to a proper prop desk, if you go to a trading floor, look at how all these professional so-called elite traders trade. Multiple screens, they're extremely focused. Do you see them sit down and pray? They don't. They have a system to stick with, and they have an extremely strict journaling routine to ensure that they know how to maximize on their way out, and they know which is the A+ out, which means that they have a strong grading system. Do you ever go to a trading floor and see everyone just praying like that? And yeah, let's trade well, and then they just start trading. No, they do a lot of pre-market prep. They don't do that. So at the end of the day, like I said, so one more comment here. I agree with psychology being 80% system. Market is quite random. You don't really have more chance predicting market. Who say you need to predict the market 70% of the time correct? You can have a 40% strike rate system and still be extremely profitable by learning how to grade your setups and holding on to the winner or size them up. So you see, this is the best comment so far. I personally think that having a trading system is much more important. Yes, you can have trading system and still lose money, but the key to truly understand system and to know every part of it in detail exactly is all about the in-depth knowledge. It's all about the in-depth, especially the tiny management technique that makes you extremely profitable. And this requires effort and time to do back testing, make adjustment, refine the system, journal your trades. Beautiful response. Once you understand the system and know how it works, your trading psychology will gradually improve. Correct. Because if you know what you're doing, you will naturally have more patience. If you don't know what you're doing, you'll forever be impatient. Right? There are often debate on which one is more important. In truth, both matters. Correct? However, the trading system comes first. It's your psychology that helps you stop and reflect on why the system might not be working, and it's also your psychology that allows you to consistently execute your system. Correct? So I hope this video helped a lot of you to really understand why I've always said psychology comes later. When you have a system to follow, when you have a routine, when you have a journaling routine, all these important things, then you see how can you improve your trading psychology. But if you try to improve your trading psychology with your trading knowledge so low, Would you look at that?
Watch a little quick video with me, chat. I'm gonna just check out some other stuff here. Oh, I love R7s as well. Oh, flat bottom steering wheel. What year is this? Oh, so clean. Damn. Damn. Y'all hear that?
This is the Audi RS7 Performance. It's a car that looks like it's been designed by, I don't know, someone who likes to listen to Motorhead, but yet at the same time drinks a vanilla latte.
What I mean by that is, it's seriously aggressive, but it's got that sweet touch to it. It's utterly bonkers, but at the same time, so civilized. But why do you want to be civilized with this car when it's this fast? But anyway, you join me in Scotland driving a car which actually could be the second best all-rounder you can buy. So now you're thinking, what's number one? Well, it's twin brother, of course, the RS6.
So this car
RS6.
has got me thinking, why on earth would you buy one of these over the much more popular and cheaper RS6? Surely there's a catch. Well, it costs as much as a small house at £120,000, and if you drive it anywhere near as I will today, it would drink fuel faster than you can say Greta Thunberg. But you don't buy this car because it's practical. You simply buy this car because you wanted to beat the car at the traffic lights, which wasn't racing you in the first place, whilst also taking your kids to school during the week. Whilst doing that, looking drop dead gorgeous. This car can simply do whatever you want it to. It can be your civilized family saloon car. It can be a missile on wheels, but that's not where it stops. This isn't just a straight line missile. It can pounce from one corner to another with outrageous grip. Wow, you see, this thing just produces outrageous grip from its all-wheel drive system, and when you put it in through a corner here, you have four-wheel steering as well, and you just simply forget that this thing weighs over 2 tons. How do the Germans do it? I'll never know. Oh, they're just so good at it. And the engine as well. Oh, the pops, the burbles, the grunt. As the Germans say, sehr gut. So under the bonnet of this German powerhouse, it's a 4-litre twin-turbo V8 engine paired with a 48-volt hybrid system. And this now produces 621 horsepower and 850 newton-meters of torque. And apparently it will do a 0 to 60 time of 3.3 seconds. But we all know how Audi love to lie about their figures, so let's find out. Right, so helping me deliver a fast launch is Audi's Quattro system. On your screen now are the stats and figures on this car, so pause your screen if you want to look into them. Now, the last time I launched a similar Audi product, of the RSQ8, we got a 3.25 seconds. Don't think we get anywhere close to that today because it's 4 degrees outside and it's wet. So to put this car on launch control, RS2 mode, here we go.
Wow. Wow.
3.23 seconds in the wet. These are so good at launching. Oh, that's so quick. It gets faster already on its first launch. I really want to go again. So let's go again. Here we go, second one. It bogged then, but it's still quick. 3.51 seconds. Oh, let's try third one. All right, come on. Last run. Here we go. Let's stop and do it here. Seems like a pretty decent stretch. No, that's bogged there. It's not quick. 3.31 seconds, and it's bogged, and it's doing what Audi says. Well, that's what it stacks up against, and I just think that just goes to show how quick that RSQ8 is. But this thing doing better than Audi claims in the wet. It's 4 degrees outside. There's snow lying about on the fields. Seriously impressive car. Back to the review. You see, in the past, every Audi they've brought out which competes against the BMW M5 have all been good, but they've never really been that good to make me think I'll buy one over the M5. Now, though, I would say this car have Munich shaken up a little. I'd seriously consider having this
over the new M5. I think it looks better, I think it sounds better. Does it drive better? Well, BMWs always seem to have the better driving dynamics when we compare it to its Audi counterparts. And if we're comparing standard RS7, I would take the BMW all day. But this performance model really does take the fight to BMW. Does it drive better though? Well, put it this way, if we are comparing this car against the M5 competition, I'd honestly tell you to buy this. But if you can afford to buy one of these, you can afford to spend £120,000 on a car. And do you know what £120,000 gets you in the M5 world? The M5 CS. Enough said. Now I remember when the first generation RS7 came out, that was and still is one of the most beautiful cars Audi have ever produced today. But if I was to be a little bit honest, that car is starting to look a little bit dated now. Let's hope the same doesn't happen with this. But the same design language has happened with this car. It's such a beautiful car. Oh, the shape on it, the back end, the front end has just got that stance about it. Audi have smashed the RS7's design again. I don't know where Audi are going to go from here though. Apparently all their odd number cars are going to be ICE powered and all the even numbers are going to be electric. So will we see another RS7 of this kind? I suppose Audi only holds the answer to that. Now let's turn our attentions to the cockpit of the RS7 Performance, and shock, Audi have smashed it again. The use of materials, the build quality is on point. Now let's start with this Alcantara flat bottom steering wheel. It's great to hold, it's lovely and thin as well, so it does provide you with great feedback. Now the overall cabin feel is lots of space, it's very comfortable, so great for your daily driver. Also great for going on long journeys as well. But when you want to go for it, it does provide you with a really good driving position, especially when you want to do some spirited driving. Now these seats are lovely. You've got this red stitch which says RS as well. Use materials, you know, the leather is very, very premium. You've got an Alcantara glove, center console, which extends, but it doesn't, it does as well. Not like the RSQ8. That's a great feature. Not much of space there, but you've got your two cup holders there. And your glove box as well, which is a pretty decent size. Now you've got this kind of exposed carbon fibre effect, which is lovely. That's nice to feel. And you've got your driver's display there, and you can change the view. And you've got the white dials as well, which is a nice touch. And when we come onto the infotainment screen as well, obviously it's split. So your bottom screen is for your climate, and your top screen is infotainment, such as your Apple CarPlay as well. So it's got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Now when we go on to car, you've got all the different driving modes. So you've got Audi Drive Select. Now, because this does have air suspension, you can raise and lower it. And your normal driving modes is efficiency, comfort, auto, and dynamic. You've got RS monitor as well. So when you go on track, you can track different parts of your car's components, such as the temperature of them, such as your engine oil, coolant, sport differential, gear oil, and brake discs. Great feature as well. You've got, say, lights and vision there. Exterior lighting, and you've got different seats as well. And when we come on to the climate down here, so you press the three buttons, it will come on. So you've got your heated steering wheel, your fragrance, you've got ionizer as well, and you've got heated and cooled seats. My cooled seats on here for some weird reason. Let's turn that off because it's still 4 degrees outside. But one thing you don't get on this car is massage seats. Now compared to the M5, which you do get massage seats in the M5, I would say that's one flaw on the Audi, is you probably get more luxury touches in the BMW. However, talking about luxury touches, one thing you get in this is all the ambient lighting. It looks great as well. But one couple of annoying things is fingerprints is really easy to put on the infotainment screen, and the other thing is quite tricky to get used to first, but once you get used to it, it's pretty easy to navigate. And because this is the carbon edition, it doesn't come with a panoramic sunroof. That's only available on the Vorsprung edition, which is like £130,000. Audi has also given the performance model new wheels with these 5-spoke lightweight alloys. Now standard, the performance model gets 21-inch alloy wheels. Now these are the upgraded ones. These are 22-inch alloys, and how good do they look? And apparently these save 5 kilos each over the original alloys which are on the normal RS7, so that saves 20 kilos alone. So how does that help throttle response? Well, usually when you drive Audi performance cars, there's a slight delay when you put your foot down. And
this isn't to do with the wheels, this is more to do with the gearbox. Now we're in normal drive mode, auto, comfort, and I'm going to put my foot all the way down to the floor. Now when I reviewed the RSQA, there was a slight delay. It was hesitant for it to get going. Okay, so I'm going to put my foot down in 3, 2, 1. Okay, then it goes. There's like a slight delay for it to think, oh right, you put your foot down. Okay, yeah, then I'm going to get going. Yeah, so on that front, nothing's changed there, but let's talk about the responsiveness of the engine if we put it in, you know, RS mode, put the gearbox in S, and let's go manual, 3rd gear, 2nd gear. Oh, the pickup's strong there. And the gear change is super snappy as well. And the downshifts.
Alrighty, well, we're just going to keep the screen onto this. I don't think I'm going to scale in anymore. I said that multiple times and I end up scaling in. But look, at this point in time, we really just need this one to break out of this area. I'm kind of getting a little bit antsy at how long it's sort of taking, but yeah, look, it is just looking like it is struggling. But the good thing is, as you can see in this area, previously in the downtrend, each 15-minute candle closed. You know, it's on its way down. I don't know. Look, I don't know. Realistically speaking, this is a 15-minute continuation here. Bang, bang, bang. Bullish continuation with imbalance inducement here. Ton of inducement. Pulling us down in order for us to take it up. Open lower, so there's a bit of a bearish sentiment. Although, you know, looking at the daily, it is sort of creating that 3 candle reversal. So this could be the moment it continues going down, realistically speaking. As you can see, there's a lot of indecision going on. A bit of a tough call to try and say that it will rebounce back up after this candle here is kind of struggled, but look, very tough call. I am still following lower time frame continuation. You know, this is a 15-minute continuation here. I really just have to let it do its thing, you know. But we have to take into consideration other factors, like external factors like time, for example. Frankfurt opens up in about an hour and a half, 40 minutes, 30 minutes. Frankfurt open. So getting yelled at. Poor potato. You okay? Okay. You okay? What happened, baby? Okay, finally got some movement. There's 2 minutes left until this 30-minute candle closes. Very exciting to see. Finally looks like a breakout. Oh, hopefully it sweeps this internal high here. That's really going to be a good sign. Hopefully it takes it. If not, I'm really looking at closing this. Really looking at closing it. I sold half, take some off the table, realistically speaking. Too much indecision is very concerning. See how the 30-minute looks. Yeah, it looks like it is struggling. Well, we still have time. We still have time. See, it is like, look at this, it's struggling. I'm not gonna enter it anymore. One more minute. And bang, it's a half-hour candle close. Let's see what we're sitting at now. Yeah, that's a bearish sign. Let me get in a couple more maybe. Oh my days.
Order filled.
Well, if I was to buy any, it'd be right now, I'll tell you that much. Okay, well there you go. Look, I made 100. Oh, it's just so choppy. Could have closed out a bit more. That's fine. Honestly, yeah, it's a pretty mid trade. Very mid trade. Should have taken it all up there. That's alright, we booked something in. At least we're not at a loss. What's the 30-minute saying? Yeah, look. Looks quite terrible here. If we zoom out, if we come with this fresh eyes, make an argument for a long here, or a long here if it continues to come back down. Make an argument. If it comes back down here, I might long again just to repeat the same, because it'll be a low time frame, 3 minutes, double bottom with the inducement here. If it comes back down here, okay, I'll do a limit buy here, and with it's a 10-point stop, I believe. 10 times 2, yep. 10-point stop. Yeah. If it does. I won't take a long from there, no way. If I was to take another long, like I made a double top here, it could easily reverse. Look, that's easy. Double top with the inducement. I'll take it from here. I wouldn't take it from here. Take it from here, because then we've got the, see there, we've got the breaker structure, internal breaker structure here, with this protected high, internal protected high. Okay, and then this internal protected low. You might think it's a good area to long off, but generally it's the second one. Some people say low time frame, internal break structure. If you want to take the chalk, take it off the second retest. I'm gonna be a little bit more conservative and say, dare I say, I will take this off this kind of protected low. That's what I'll look at, and I'll TP that right there. That's a decent trade for me. I'm just going to quickly journal this trading for today. Jeez. Could have taken a bit more off the table, but that's fine. Bit of a long trade, wasn't it? day. When I jump in there, 1403 until when? 1530 pretty much. An hour and a half, so 90, it'll be 87 minutes. Session, I took out the second hour, so that's Asia 1, 9, 1, 2, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, Asia 6. Monday. Oh, this is a Friday, this is Saturday. No. Trade number 1. Set well. Daily, internal bullish, 4 hours bullish, bullish, 15 bullish. Internally bearish, externally bearish. We are bullish. Line 1, 2, 3, let's take it. So that's a 6. They protected high. 15 minute protected high, yep. 15. So that's a 15 minutes. Internal protected. I'll just protect it long. Long discount. Pro trend. Number of inducements. Quite a few. 1, 2, 3. Efficiency, inducements. What was I targeting? 3 minutes protected high. Candle, PLY percentile. Looks internal to me. $27.25. What's that? 0.83. P&L. What did I get? My 100. Not even 0.03%. 3%. 3% would be 4.5. 0.3. 0.01. So I am looking at the FBOS into this area trade. Yeah, should have taken it all there. It's alright. If I took it, it would have been 300 something up. Would have closed out for the day. That's right. Realistically speaking, I might just pause the stream here. I don't know if I can pause it, but yeah, we might wait till this will be part 1. This will be part 1. The second part will be tonight, midnight. New York Stock Exchange open, where I'll continue streaming there. Okay, that might be the best kind of decision moving forward. I'm just gonna quickly lock myself out until then. Alright, chat. I will see y'all later.